Hello, and welcome to the very first episode of North Cabin Fibercrafts. Some of you may already know me as Lori Yu on Plurk, Ravelry, and Twitter. I'm also Lori Green on Facebook. Don't mind me, I'm going to look at my computer because this is where my show notes are, and I'm trying to stay on track and stay focused with the theme. This is my very first podcast that I've done myself. I've been a host on the High Fiber Diet podcast with Kagi TM a few times, and that's an audio podcast. So for me, this is huge to be in front of a camera. It's taken me a really long time and a whole lot of courage to put myself in front of the camera and have to stare at myself in that tiny little screen right there. But bear with me. We'll see how we manage with this one. I also know some of you have been waiting a while for me to actually do this. I've been talking about it for a while, and just it's taken some time and courage. So first you might be asking, why the name North Cabin Fibercrafts? Well, I've been wanting to do this for a while, but life got in the way. You all know how it is. You have a full-time job, you have a family, things that interfere with kind of fulfilling the dreams on the bucket list. I've been very fortunate in the last couple of years to have met a man that we share a lot of the same kind of dreams and goals and expectations. You may have heard me talk about him before on the High Fiber Diet, Ravelry board, or even meeting me in person. You may know of Ugly Dog Distillery here in Chelsea, Michigan. John is the owner, and he makes vodka for a living. He has his own distillery, and we just hit it off. We both want to be outdoorsy. We like hunting and fishing and things like that, and kind of entrepreneurial also. I currently hold a full-time 8 to 4:30 Monday through Friday full-time job in Ann Arbor, Michigan. I've been there for almost 3 years now. Previous to that, I was a business owner with my ex-husband, and I had done that for 20 some years. So I'm well versed in the self-employment game. It's not easy. I really thought that after so many years of being self-employed and working 7 days a week and not getting holidays and vacations and things like that, that really to have a full-time regular job with vacation time and everything else would be the cat's meow. Until I met John, who's self-employed, creates his own hours, takes time off when he can, but it doesn't always coincide with mine. So perfect opportunity for me to start this business, hand dyeing yarns and fibers, is kind of out of the love of the craft. I'm an avid knitter, spinner, and I also sew. It just seemed like the next logical step, and I wanted to do this a few years ago, and it just didn't happen for me. I didn't have the guts, the determination, the knowledge. And John's been a big inspiration and a huge backer of me wanting to fulfill my dream and hopefully make it a full-time job. But getting back to North Cabin Fibercrafts, the reason I named it this, and it took some time for me to come up with a name, is because we have a 3-year plan. Our 3-year plan is to, this summer, go to Alaska, and we were looking at going for 3 to 4 weeks. As it turns out, we will be there for 5 to 6 weeks. We just booked our plane tickets. We'll be leaving June 25th and coming home around August 6th. We purchased an Alaskan boat in Alaska. It's an awesome looking boat. I can't wait to see it in person. John does have a friend that lives in Anchorage, so we were able to find stuff online here from Michigan and tell Andy to go check it out. This one looks good. It's in our price range. It's everything we're looking for in a boat, and go take a look at it. Well, Andy took a look at a couple different boats for us, and this is the one. A little bit more than we wanted to spend, but it's everything we want. And we're gonna be spending just about 6 weeks on a boat, if not pulling up to shore off the rivers or what have you, setting up camp for a couple of days. The main reason we're going is to look for property. John has pretty much mapped out river passages and whatnot where there are properties that we want to take a look at and see if it's something that we would like. With that said, next year would be 4 months, at least 4 months. 4 months to build a house or cabin. If there's already one on the property, because we have found a couple that have small cabins on the property, we would be going and rebuilding, making it our own, making it larger, adding things that we feel would make us comfortable. And then the third year, providing the first two go well, would be to stay in Alaska for 12 months. Mind you, this is an off the grid thing. Create your own electricity either with a generator, wind power, water power. Heat is going to be wood, propane. This is going to be hard, but really I am so up for this challenge. Just to be able to do something that you would never get an opportunity to do unless you really just did it. So getting back to my show notes. The North Cabin Fiber Crafts, that's something that I'm hoping that I can move to Alaska with me. If we're going, we will need income. John will have some income from his business, and I'm hoping to be able to generate some income straight from Alaska to you. So that's kind of where we're going with this whole theme and idea. But have you ever wanted to fulfill your bucket list dreams? 2 years ago, I jumped out of an airplane, first time ever, but I've always wanted to. I bought a motorcycle. Yes, I ride, have my own motorcycle, Harley Davidson Sportster. I bought my own house. I started this business. And there are just a few more things I want to do, kind of, before I'm too old to really enjoy them all. So that's my story. I'm sticking to it. Anyways, it kind of started. Oh, and you know, another thing we did too is we just, on a whim, John has done it before, I never have, always wanted to, is just book a fly-in fishing trip. We went to Canada for a week last year. We drove up to Wawa and hopped on a plane. 30-40 minutes later, they're flying us in on a lake. There's nothing else on the lake but this cabin that we're staying in, and just us. Nothing else. No one else. No electricity. They did have some solar power for some lights and what have you. They did have propane for heat and hot water and running water. And yes, there was an outhouse. And they supplied you with kind of like a rowboat with a motor on it, so you could go out fishing in the lake. That was it. I was hooked. I'm ready to either do this again or do something bigger. So this is how we decided to go big. So the funds generated from North Cabin Fiber Crafts is going to help to subsidize our adventure. We will have some expenses to purchase fuel, gas, food. Our main travel method will probably be by river, which is our boat, and when it freezes, snow machine or four-wheeler. You know, the closest town may be 30 to 40 minutes, maybe more, by boat, by any of these means. So it's going to take a lot of preparation, and right now we're doing a lot of preparation just for the month-long trip. It's really hard. I have no idea how to camp cook for a month. I've done it for a weekend, a long weekend, maybe a week, but you always have that availability to say, hey, let's run over to the store over there because we're out of pop, or we're out of this, we're out of that, and pick some up. Go back to camp, hang out. Not in Alaska, not unless you get to a town that has a store with something that you might want in it. So this is a huge, huge, huge adventure, along with me starting a business here at home. I've been fairly successful, I believe, for just starting out. I started in, I think, my first shop date on Etsy, which is northcabinfibercraft.etsy.com. I started on January 15th, 2013. So I've been going pretty much gangbusters. I started out doing once a week shop updates, and found that with the full-time job and the housework and the taking care of the man thing and stuff like that, that I was being rushed every week. So I decided to go to twice a month. Usually right around the 15th and 30th of the month I'll do my shop updates. And I find that I'm way more productive during the week. I can dye several pans. I have some time on the weekends, and I think that's more successful for me right now, starting out. Let's see, what else is there? John's also a builder, a creator, an engineer. All of the distillery items, the distillers and whatnot, he built himself from scratch. Hand forming metal, copper, pipe, tube, this, that, and whatever, making his own distillers to make his product. He didn't go out and buy a lot of equipment, big dollar equipment. So he's very creative. So creative that we discussed orifice hooks and have since made only 6, but from deer antler that he harvested over the years. He sacrificed his deer antlers so that I could have what I wanted. Mind you, I still didn't get my own, and this is how it all started. I wanted one for myself. I wanted a really fancy, all mine kind of one. And so he made 6, and he says, now sell them. They're in the shop. Sold one. Debbie Jess, thank you so much. Enjoy it. And anyway, so now he's in the process of making a warping board for me so that I can start playing with some self-striping a little bit, which is really cool. Might be done tomorrow even. So it won't be in the next shop update, but it will be like a couple weeks out, that next shop update. About the 15th of April. So hopefully I'll have something then for that. Anyway, so that's kind of the story on that. I just found out, and we had a discussion about it, that I will be turning in my resignation around April 15th, and my last day will be like May 3rd. That gives me a whole month to prepare prior to the couple of weeks before we get ready to leave to make sure we have everything we need. We're going to be pre-shipping a lot of stuff to Andy in Anchorage, and then just taking what we need on the plane. So hopefully we can get all that stuff packed and ready to go. Tents and sleeping bags and miscellaneous items. When we get there, we'll go to the grocery store and pick up foodstuffs that we need. But in the meantime, I have to create the menu. And again, no idea. None whatsoever. I just don't know. I don't even know that we'll be able to keep food in a huge cooler cold that long. Or how long. I know the rivers are super, super cold, so you can always throw a net bag over with stuff in it, but then you also have to make sure that everything is watertight that you're tossing in the water, right? Beer and wine. Most important, other than water, and coffee. Coffee's a must. The other stuff, I guess I'll just have to figure out as I go. Hopefully I get some hints from all of you. Anybody camped more than like a week or two without store availability or anything like that? I would surely appreciate any hints and tips that you have. Like I said, I have a Ravelry group, and it's North Cabin Fiber Crafts. Go on over there. I will start a thread that is help me out with the camping menu. I will start another thread, hints, tips, anything that you guys think that can help me be a better podcaster. That'd be super. So I will go and do that. Knitting, what I've been knitting on lately is I had just some stash yarn, and I'm doing the hitchhiker scarf. I'm at like point number 39, so I'm almost done. I don't have it right here with me to show you, but hold on, I'll go get it. Hold on. Okay, I'm back. I can't find a ball band to save my life. Sorry. I don't remember what yarn it is. It looked like this when I started. That's ball number 2. I didn't know how much I would need. It says more than 400 and some yards for the pattern, and so I don't have much left. I have this little tiny bit left, and I don't know if that's enough. If that's enough to finish my points, or if I'm going to have to jump into that a little bit, which is fine because it was out of my stash. But I really like it. Look at those colors. Pink, green, kind of a brown with some gray in it, and I think it's fabulous. Sorry, learning this whole camera angle thing. But anyways, so that's really the only thing I'm knitting on. I have a lot of other works in progress, but I was ill prepared for this. The next episode I'll be much more prepared with my works in progress, some spinning that I've been doing, and hopefully, you know, a few other new things that I can contribute. I'm going to try and keep a format. I just have a sample format, which is going to be like the wild, which is update to the adventure details and the hunt and find and gather on the properties, the boat, which we already got, and anything else that we're preparing for our trip. The wacky, which is just, you know, regular everyday life, what's going on, so on and so forth. The work, maybe a little bit about my business here, dyeing, spinning, doing fibers, dyeing fibers, any of those kind of things. And, well, that was wrong. Actually, the woolly will be dyeing it, spinning it, knitting it, and selling it. The woods is, I might leave this section for John and whatever progress he's making in building this, that, or the other. Wish list, things that I have found either for the business or just for fun, just to share with you. Look, I found this, oh my gosh, it's awesome, kind of thing. And the wonder. The wonder will be things just like photos from Alaska, or inspiration photos, or maybe I'll just snap off a few shots of John building something, doing something, making something. Sorry about that, bag just fell right off onto the floor. Anyways, so another thing I'm going to add to my shop will be some project bags. As I said earlier, I also do sew. Excuse me. I have made up a couple of sample bags She wanted like this humongously huge sweater bag that you can put like 6 to 8 or so odd skeins of yarn in, and the sweater and the pattern and everything else, and tie it up at the top and put it in the room until you're ready to get it out again. If you have pets, cats, animals, whatever, dogs, just to keep things kind of safe. Not so much for travel knitting or whatever, but just to like keep it all in one spot and keep it safe. So I did make her a bag. I'll show that to y'all next time. I still haven't sent it yet. It's my template, so sorry, Gary, you can't have it yet. Anyways, that's a lot of ums. Let's see. Again. Other than show you a couple of items that I just dyed up this last couple of days. The dye pots are going steady over there in my kitchen, and I have some hanging to dry. I have some ready to spin, rinse and spin, and I have one in the oven, one on the stove, one cooling. I've been busy today, other than cleaning the house and doing all the other stuff too. But anyways, so the last show update I had, or shop update, I had some yellows, and I named it after one of the girls on Plurk. I believe it's Lemon Half, Becca. She said she was going to go make some grapefruit marmalade, which I've never had grapefruit marmalade before, so I googled it. I was like, hey, that actually sounds good. And then I looked at the pictures, and the marmalade just looks like not real vibrant, pretty colors that you would think you would be getting from grapefruit, I guess, but hence it's cooked, so therefore it changes. So I wanted to do something like that. This is what I came up with. I don't know how good the light's gonna be. It's like 3 shades of yellow with a little bit of white. I did 2 of these for the last shop update, and they pretty much sold with my teaser that I put up like the day before. So I decided to do a couple more of those. Who knew everyone liked yellow? I'm not a big yellow fan. I just wanted something bright and that reminded me of grapefruits. This is my next one that I did this week, and it just has some green and some like lake blue and a little bit of sky blue with clouds and sun. I did this as a sample for a local shop owner. She contacted me a week or so ago and asked me if I would be interested in doing some wholesale in her shop, and possibly even contracting me to dye for her some colorways that she wants solely for her shop. I said, we'll entertain this idea, and let's work out the numbers, let's work out this and that, and we'll hook back up again. Meantime, she had suggested a colorway similar to this, so I played around with 3 or 4 skeins and pretty much got the one I wanted. So hence this will probably be called Whitmore Lake, which is also the name of the town I live in and the name of the yarn shop. So that's really all I have to show you right now, and I just wanted to really like break the ice, stare at myself in that tiny little camera screen right there, and stutter up till no end, a lot, and try and get the whole jitters out, but also let you know who I am, what I'm doing. I'm out here and I'm fulfilling a dream. So thank you. Thank you for joining me. I hope to see you next time. Again, I'm Lori Yu on Ravelry, Plurk, and Twitter. Lori Green on Ravelry, on Facebook. Also have a Facebook page for North Cabin Fiber Crafts. Have a group, North Cabin Fiber Crafts, on Ravelry. And the shop is northcabinfibercraft.etsy.com. Take care. See you next time. Bye-bye.